Hello, chat. Seems we are back here again. And yes, it is the theatre hall. No, she hasn't. Yeah, she's definitely somewhat feeling it.
Tough memories, I know. I apologize. But I wouldn't have asked you to come out here for no reason.
And it better be a good reason.
It is. There's a lot of things that need to be discussed today. Not just between me and my whisperers, but me and Wrench, and to keep you clued in, I invited Queen as a symbol. This place has a lot of history for all of us. Not only that, I want the council to be clued in with what's going on. Our meetings are sparse and hard to make at the moment, especially with what's going on around the city and lines.
With the pit and everything else, yes, the front lines has moved further up. made things a bit more difficult to defend.
Unfortunately, that's not the issue now.
Unfortunately, yes. I had hoped there would be no issues back at home, but it seems that even with the tigers on our doorstep, people still seem to want to cause problems.
Yeah. There's a lot of confusion going on at the moment. A lot of the word magitech being thrown around, and you're more experienced than a lot of us, so having another voice other than Wrench's would be good in this regard. And ISB. They are also becoming a huge problem for Wrench and I.
I see.
Before we go back over, not all of them are in deep shit, but some of them just... They're not all doing wrong. It's more of the fact that they're going to be treading in deep water. And I just need them to stay on course. Be more careful, be more mindful with every decision they make. People over there are heavy influencers, I would say, in the Whisperers.
All the more reason why they need to behave.
Do you have any questions, Wrench, before we go over there and make this more of a open conversation?
Something I'd rather keep from them and just between us. In relation to yesterday, at least. With our investigations into Blackstem and this conduit entity, Corvus invoked something that none of us could handle. And that's putting it lightly. To the point where the Kijin mothership showed up on top of the hollow. With Care showing up the scene to dispatch and chase away that thing. But ISB is asking questions on why that thing showed up. And I'm trying to keep their curiosity away from us. But they're demanding something a lot more physical as proof of how and why that thing showed up. I'm currently speaking to Nev about possibly arranging something that I could hand over as proof of that thing to dissuade them for the time being, so we don't have to worry about their prying eyes.
I think something would be important is finding out where or what that thing is, and perhaps maybe Nevrossi knows something about it. Because
we
if
have a worse situation than that as well. We can harp on this, but one of them I need to...
I'm just telling you, because that's what I plan on doing.
Okay. You don't want to tell them any of this? With the Blackstem? And I think it's about time we be fucking open with people.
I'm
at least
telling them about Blackstem. The majority of the Hollow deserves that answer. But my involvement with Nev and the consequences of yesterday, I want kept under wraps for now. I've already tasked Corvus and Ace to find me proof I can present to ISB. So I want to see what they can come up with.
Second problem. Biggest, I'd say. Oz. Remember when we talked about him?
Briefly.
He's very much still a problem. This shit's being talked about openly in the hollow in our halls.
You will have to get Millie involved with this.
Alright, it's too fucking late for that.
Millie's
Yeah.
been aware of Oz for a while.
Man, there's not much else we can do. She's the only one who can deal with something like that.
But today I need to make a decision if I kill people or not. That's why I brought you here. That's why I brought all of you here. Callahan, this so-called son of Vito, on top of that, now has a tiger. A tiger. Possibly inflicting them. And we're just meant to ignore that?
That they've made a deal with.
The devil? Yeah.
So we have a son of a tiger and an actual tiger in the hollow influencing things. I don't think that's good.
There was a whole situation yesterday in my tech bay of some... we have a corpo character. Her name's Sylvie. She's a part of this conduit bullshit and black stem situation. Who also was... I don't know, in some medical distress, correct?
Something like that.
And how does this tie back into Oz?
Callahan did something.
Did something.
Were you given the reports?
No.
It's all over our fucking cameras.
In which case, we can get a live report from them today. If they do not come clean, well, you know what happens. It's one thing for a tiger to defect to Whisperer and join our ranks. It's another for them to be the son of Vito, supposedly, and another to allow a tiger in to deal with our business.
Yeah, son of Vito thing, keep just between us, but yeah.
Why are you holding on to that? When are you going to use
Secretive.
it? Secretive.
I can't have Whisperers killing a possible boon yet. But we haven't fully figured out what we want to do with that yet.
It's leverage that stays in our corner as long as he's still alive.
The question is Vito even looking for this supposed son?
Don't know. We don't even know if it's true. No.
We can get Millie to look around, see if there's any word of him putting a missing persons or a bounty on this said individual.
Sure, if you think that's a good idea.
Currently we're lacking a lot of information, and information will help a lot.
I know recently that a team returned from a deep dive within Tin's situation, and I don't know much about that either. Were you given full reports about that? I just know that our warehouse was used.
More information being kept. This does not
I know that you were,
bode well.
I think, briefed about Tin Man's situation, but I'm wondering if anything useful has come up about it, or if they've not shared any of that yet with you.
The most I know is they've made contact with some of Oz's personal belongings. The most reoccurring one has been his mask. I haven't heard a full brief on the deep dive.
What do you want to do with Oz and Callahan? Worst case scenario. You want them dead, or do you want... Do you think, better question, do you think that they are a current risk to our family? A big enough risk that this could crumble.
Last I heard of Oz, I saw his dead fucking corpse being buried somewhere out there in the snowy wastes around the oak. Hearing him coming back and whispering in our whisperer's ears was the last thing I wanted to hear. And he is very much a risk to our operations.
He's fucked with us once before.
Then let's start our conversations with that then.
Callahan, I'd rather we keep alive, if only barely. There's one other point I'd like to address.
And what's that?
After.
I will be available.
A PD precinct. Thinking it's okay to ambush and kill whisperers. That seem to have very close ties to ISB.
Chase has already informed me. I'll be discussing about this later on.
We could have just sit here and just stared at each other and said nothing. Fuck. Instead, we talked about pianos and shit.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe if you guys didn't talk, I was gonna throw up.
Don't do that.
Do any of you know the history of this place?
I do.
Well, you told me in that group about the history about it.
I got
One
nothing.
weekend, whatever day it was.
I hope he does stay. I hope the same message isn't going to be delivered.
That depends on your response.
It does.
I'm sure it is.
Whispers.
Okay, I guess I'm the only one that doesn't know? Question mark?
Do you know who King is? Old champion of the Whisperers.
Yeah, it was before my time.
To put it simply, there was some meeting held here, and the one that we labeled as our champion was decapitated here.
I assume for a reason?
Well, like Queen said, based on your response.
There's more history. There's
Of course. The TLDR.
betrayal, new beginnings, deaths. I died in this room. Technically. I crowned Tokuo Dar as a council member in this room. I watched a beloved whisperer amongst many die in a second in this room for miscommunication, misleading information, and fear. And when that runs rampant, when we don't have organization, it causes mistrust. A game of telephone in our family is a notorious one. And each of you at this table have something to share. Be it if it's small or large. Gonna take the opportunity to just air things out, so we can piece together a puzzle that seems to be ever growing. So
Maybe.
myself and Wrench and the council can assess what we have and know more carefully what we're dealing with. Because it's affecting our home, our family. It's making us make decisions that are risking one another and ourselves. Callahan. Is there anything you would like to tell me at this table? Anything at all?
Well, you already not supposed to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
I have familial relations to one that you and your gang know as Vito. I've also, for the past few weeks, been working alongside Oz.
These two things, the way they interlink. Does anyone see problems with that at this table?
Suppose it depends on the context.
Well,
Why
it
you're working with
can't
us.
be that one because the real one is dead.
Yeah, wasn't he some kind of tech whiz?
Yeah, but we also buried
He's
his
in my
body.
head.
Yeah.
I've been working with him to try and find answers as to what's going on in Tim's head. That's it.
And he's just doing that for free? At the
I've
kindness
done a
of
few
his...
things for him, mostly just conversations, but that's it.
And yet you're still benefiting off that fact, too.
Callahan, I decide today at this table if you die or not. So, I would be forthright. You're risking my family.
Yeah.
Speak up.
He hasn't asked me to tamper with anything or do with anything on the inside, only to have conversations like the one I had with you, and another he wants me to have with you. And in
About what?
exchange,
About what?
that he's in my head, and that the 30 whispers that died because of him wasn't his fault. According to him, he was trying to help. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter to him. He just wants you to know his side of the story. I'm just the person that tells you because he doesn't want to tell you himself. And in exchange for these conversations, I get things like hands, a spine, and our names out of the news.
Is there a reason you didn't think the Council of Nine, or the family that surrounds you at this table, couldn't do that for you? I opened up my home to you, Callahan. Even after what you told me. Your history. And yet I find you talking and tampering
Whose fault for what? What?
with tigers.
I don't know anything about the Whisperers dying.
And you expect me to just let that happen? What would you do?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It only started happening after going into Tim's head and picking up something I shouldn't have picked up.
Right, so let's talk about that next. What is going on with him? What's the information that you have found in these deep dives? I want something substantial given to me, or he dies next. Because if he's a risk, he's going to. So
Just
somebody
about-
give me a reason.
So, I can at least spit on the first part, or the first initial dive. Initially, when I don't even remember what happened to get you in the comatose state,
I fell down the
but
stairs.
he fell down the stairs, and I believe he hit his head, which put him in pretty much a coma. So, me, a couple of techies, and a bunch of others that wished to assist went into a deep dive to pretty much search the subconscious to make sure there was nothing internal happening outside of medical reasons. Turns out he was reliving memories, also dreaming of certain events that he wished were more successful than others. And towards the end of it, we found the Mask of Oz laying on a table, which also had encrypted files on them. From what they said, they put it on the mask, and then we left. Afterwards, Python uploaded these files of what happened, so just in case if it happened again, we would at least have some idea of potentially how to fix it again, hoping that it wouldn't. But after that, if it seems there's been more deep dives, I can't speak on those.
You went on one recently. You used our warehouse. How did that go?
There were multiple complications. We initially started the dive at the location that Corvus mentioned.
I see.
With the T7
Was this when Queen was in power or not? When Queen was active or
and
not?
rest of the works. After Current had tried to interface with the tree, or at least the fragments of the tree, an elevator lowered down from the sky of the space we were in. And from what she had said next, that we were more or less transferred into the open net. After wandering around for a bit, we found a connection, a sort of memory of some sort of warehouse lined with filing cabinets.
I see. So lack of communication
at the
again.
center of it, there was a creature, or possibly a virus, something along those lines. Acted almost
It's
like a
in
black
her
hole.
now.
Excuse me.
Can we preface that is not in my brain? Actually, they went somewhere on the net to find a way around some security barrier. So I'm not. I don't have all of the spooky shit that happened in there. That wasn't in my brain.
We are unsure
Hmm.
of if that was directly connected into his brain or not. We just knew that we were connected outside of the deep net.
Rabbit Chin.
I have an inkling as to what it is. Sylvie decided to do a deep dive back to the last location by herself. She had a conversation with Oz, pursued forward, touched it, and now it's stuck in her fucking head and it's killing her. Until Oz can find a fix for it. I have a temporary fix if it acts up.
And that is?
But it's not. It's a wire of code. You can look through it. But it's not in her cybernetics. It's in her brain.
You have that on you now?
On my phone.
Of course. I want you to look over that now, please. Why do you have Oz in your head?
Me?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay, why are there masks
Because I used to
of
be.
him?
I used to be in a gang with him. It's probably just a memory of it.
Okay, memories don't... Do they inflict people in the... I don't know if that I don't know
Again,
how
they weren't.
Sometimes
They
I
weren't in. They weren't in my brain. They went somewhere in the fucking deep web and got
One moment.
got a fucking virus or
I
whatever.
might be able to pitch in a little bit on this as well. You remember the case that I told you with myself, right? Wrench also knows about this. Where Oz was able to get into my head. I was able to see Oz as if he were there in front of me, but not any other one else would see it. It's not impossible to think that something happened in the past that Oz did the same, and unknowing to. With what his works is, it's, if anything, I'd say more on the table than off. But past that, I can't really.
I have some ideas or theories from the conversations Oz and I have had. I have reason to believe that that environment with the teacup set was created by Oz as a safe space in Tim's brain, so he didn't have to remember the things that happened before he became a Whisper. And Oz doesn't want us removing that, which is why people keep getting hurt every time we go in there.
We're talking about a dead guy. How? The conversation that me and you had not too long ago. Are we allowed to divulge that about Millie, about you, about?
If I may, real quick.
Yes.
The code is basically a blocker. In the interface, it's essentially a very
What's he talking about?
sophisticated
I
program
need a refresher.
when input, if there was something acting up, so for in this case, if Sophie's
What's he talking about?
deep dive equipment were to begin to fry her brain, for one reason or another, this would basically block the intermission to get it to stop, and then neutralize to where it was back to unharmed. It's pretty much the
Hey, Major.
TLDR of this.
Okay. You can give them back their phone.
If Oz is fucking with our people and keeping his own secrets, then I would say it's fair game for that to be exposed.
When we killed Strange, there was more to this than I think I can even put
Okay.
into words. There was a plan with Millie. I was meant to take over as Strange, and Millie was meant to take over the Whisperers, but as time went on, that changed. Millie got pushed out of the Hollow because we needed her to, and she took up the mantle of needing to become Strange. She worked very closely with him, as I'm sure some of you now can understand and see why. District Zero always needs a boogeyman. But what Strange created, what he was trying to create, the items that he found, it even connects to the Havana when that whole situation happened. These crystals, right? Am I right?
Artifacts.
Artifacts. Things that Kaijin are using to I don't really know the ins and outs, but they're using them for magics and shit. Like Queen's sword.
Similar. The artifact in question is one that generates power. He got a shard from a major, larger one and used it to power his machine. This machine, I'm assuming, is a perfected model it turns someone into data. They become, well, a machine, everlasting, never aging, able to travel the web and other electronic interfaces. Oz was a prototype. So, when he was slain by Strange, he didn't truly die, he just lost a physical form. Who knows? He might have another one. But because he is essentially a prototype version of sentient data, that makes him quite potent when it comes to electronic devices and technology.
Our theory is that when Millie did what she did at the end, she uploaded herself or put herself in that machine. We think that Oz may have been able to do that as well, somehow. He was also after the artifacts, I think. Yes.
Sorry if I'm speaking up, but that just isn't possible. When would he have been able to do that? With the tigers?
We're making assumptions due to a lack of information.
Well, I'm telling he was never connected with Strange or any of that. Tigers maybe, yeah, but...
I mean, Queen has first-hand experience.
Well,
so.
Yeah. Strange was on the phone call when Oz called me. Used his connections with Strange as bribing material. They at least knew each other enough where they could have a conversation of such.
That can't be.
Tin Man, the man that you think that you know is not who you think he is, okay? Let's just put that on the table. All we have is theories and having to figure out which one of you is a thread. Because I have to prioritize my family right now. And the war. Is it possible for a thing or an entity or whatever the fuck this thing is to jump to another person? Is that something that can happen?
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised.
The orb or Oz? What we're calling that thing the orb, the thing in Sylvia, if that's what you're referring to.
I'm talking about you, Oz, yeah.
The orb is with Sylvie. Oz, I talk to once, maybe every other week. He just kind of appears, and we talk. As far as I'm aware, he's not connected to anybody else like he connected to me.
If I may then, when you say connected to you, what do you mean? Because I also was able to see him and converse with him myself at one point until I removed him.
I'm doing okay, Major. Just, doing a scene.
Sorry, what was that?
I was also able to converse
Well, you
with
also
him
gave
at one
Queen a
point
crystal.
until I removed him from my head. What do you mean? Your connection is different.
I don't know what Eros was like. He contacted me before I could see him. And as soon as I got the neural port installed with the new hands is when I started seeing him. I don't know if it's the same type of thing he did with you.
I don't know exactly what he did with me, but I mean, cut and dry, I saw him literally appear in front of me.
No,
And I saw a
that's
physical
what he
form.
does with me.
So
Well,
it's
not
probably the
physical,
same
but
thing, just in terms
hologram.
of difference. It's when you got yours, it was almost like an upload at the same time.
I imagine even if the cybernetics that I currently have were to be removed, though, he would still find a way to contact me, because even with my old pair of hands and my phone, he still found me and contacted me.
There's a difference between contacting you and getting in your head.
He's in it now. And frankly, I think it's a good
That
way to
much is
find
apparent.
information from him.
Finding information from him is not something that comes freely. There's a price
I know
for
it's
everything.
And it might not even be trustworthy.
I know he's not. He blatantly told me I can't trust everything he says.
The only
don't
thing
trust
I would
everything he says.
The only thing I would counter argument your thing of information is I would say that would backfire more than anything. As I had him in my head for a little bit as well, I can't remember whose death it was, but he appeared then while we were burning the body. Which means he can see what you see, and depending on what you see, there could be some very critical things that he just learns just from being there.
Okay.
And
let's
you're
pause.
just learning things from mouth.
So this now exists. We've got this problem. Be it if it's actually him, not him, something that we just need to continue these deep dives for. Whatever our next course of action is we need to remove that. And quickly. I don't care what
I don't know
deals
if
you
it's a
think
pretty
that you're
good
making.
try.
I don't care how beneficial you think it is. I'm the one that makes those decisions. Wrench and the council, not you. And you definitely don't make those on behalf of me. So
I've never used your name on behalf of you with him.
Sylvie situation. Touched something she shouldn't have, did something she shouldn't have, now she's corrupted, also got Oz, not Oz.
No,
Is this corruption infectious?
not as far as I'm aware. I already asked if I could take it from her, so I could deal with it directly with Oz, but I can't.
I would like you to do some research on that. Make sure it's not infectious. If it's something that's self-inflicted and she's the only one who's suffering from it, we can treat it as a lesson. If it's infectious, then she's a liability.
I can say that if it was infectious in some sort of way, the people that were looking over her would have been infected. And I think the only other person that was looking over her that has cybernetics possibly is Mag, and he seems fine as far as I know.
My understanding with software, with viruses, they tend to hide until it's time to strike, when they've infected most of the files, same as a biological virus. This is not a suggestion, it is an order. Find out more information about this corruption, and make sure no stone is left unturned.
That's if you get to leave this room. We have an unsanctioned deep dive now, and somebody that also met with this quote-unquote Oz. So it's a possibility that they also might have somebody talking to them in their head now? Is that in the realm of possibility? Okay.
I've gotten other reports of other whisperers getting into contact with Oz, both current and former.
What's going on here? What's so enticing? What don't I understand? Can anybody answer? What have we not given you?
You eat our food, drink our water. You live under our roof. And you think the decisions you make are only ones that'll affect you. You that
I-
fucking blind.
I understand we're not all to blame at this table. But it's important that each of you understand that you have a very important role at the Hollow now, even though you don't see it currently. A lot of you here are going to move on to probably influence the Whisperers. People will follow you, will look up to you. You are entrenched in some of the most I don't even know how to word it. This conduit, individual and Blackstem, which is connected to this Sylvie individual. What have we now found out about them? What's the next steps there? Is there any progress? What happened yesterday? And why is it all interfucking-linked?
Where we are currently with the investigation, he has given us a directive that we are going to follow at a later date that he decides when to assassinate a
I know about
blacksmith
that.
engineer.
Yep.
That is the farthest that we are at currently. But in terms of what had happened yesterday, it is interconnected with what happened on the mission.
Well, put your shit on the table. Whatever this thing is, whatever. Is that what you touched?
Yeah.
During the
Just-
mission,
Just two of them?
Tin Man.
Hmm?
Where's the rank?
Didn't bring it. What? After ISB shows up, I don't want them to take that away.
Okay. Just need to know
Let's
that you
dash
know
it.
that. It's fine. What are these things?
these are Magitech items that were given to us by Conduit himself after we were taken away from the Blackstem facility that went under, crumpled in on itself. Apparently,
This is
if
when
we are-
he went AWOL, you two followed, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
If we are to take what he said at face value, he was in some areas cryptic, some areas direct. He says that these are pieces of himself.
I guess that explains why the ring was pulling Tin Man.
What were you thinking?
I wanted my brother back.
At what cost, Corvus?
My life, if it was needed.
Sadly, that's not the only price. It's not just your life, it's everyone else's. I heard reports. I know that ISB's spear was over the hollow, and that a certain individual was deployed to deal with it.
He was.
Do not get smart with me, Corvus.
I'm answering your question, Queen. I'm only confirming what you said.
It was not a question, it was a statement.
Apologies.
Are you aware that your actions doesn't just cost your own life but others?
Yes. Why would it still have my arm?
So you know then. You are aware, but you made a decision anyway.
Well, no. I was not entirely sure of the risks when it happened and I made the decision. After I decided to do what I did, I gave my arm up. It was not giving my arm up and then doing it.
Muerte. I have a lot of faith and a lot of trust in you. You are the safety of my home. How would you handle these current situations? If me and Wrench were not available. No council member, just you. You've learned about this figment of Oz, possibly jumping from person to person, misuse of items.
My most honest answer is I don't know. There's so many things to take into consideration. They're all without any leadership consent. All actions taken because someone wanted to. At the very least, punishments do have to be dealt out.
Callahan, if you have to go, I would like you to go wait in my car.
Right.
Callahan. I would endeavor you to truly think about what I've said.
Look, I don't want to be that asshole that sits here like I'm bigger and better and I have to stand upon you and play this big fucking dickhead that says the same fucking shit repeated again and again until it's sunk in. But do we get it? Do we like understand how much shit is happening and how much it's building up
Yes, sir.
and how
Yeah.
dangerous this is and how oddly interlinked it all feels? It feels like I'm talking to you about a problem that's jumping from one thing to the next. And it goes around the table. But now there's more pieces presented. what did you do? And how did it work? And why is he here?
So, in terms of where and why, I'm not entirely sure. But when they came back and I was told my brother disappeared in front of people, I had a feeling in my chest. Not a good one.
I'm not sure if that fear factor is being felt, but
when they
yeah,
mentioned
I'm hoping so.
it was similar to what happened last time, when he also appeared in our main room. I had an assumption it might be connected until I saw their little lens glowing in their pouch. No, I didn't know they had these items before that. I only learned of it by the time I saw it glowing. And then I'm assuming there was some level of concern on what it might do because of the glow. So they asked for it to be taken out of the med bay, just in case. So they were pretty much, it got thrown to me. Not from them directly, mind you. They just wanted it out of the med bay. It's unfortunate that South tossed it to me. I took it outside, and I wanted to confirm it wasn't a bomb. So I looked at it, and saw it was a lens. Not gonna lie, curiosity did get the better of me, as well as desperation. I've lost my brother once. Can't say I'm a fan of it. And seeing it happen again, especially this time, it wasn't under some name physically. This time it was something, I guess, ethereal? I'm not entirely sure word to use there. So I looked into this foggy, enticing lens to see if there was anything I could get from it. Which I did start getting information in terms of I was able to physically see grids in the walls, electricity, currents, you name it. So I assumed that with that meant if there was something my heart desired, there was a way to find it. So my heart desired finding him again. And lo and behold, when Tin Man came out, his ring basically was pulling itself to mine. I held mine still, continuously looking and hoping to find him, and eventually I found him in a TV. What that means, I'm not even sure. But a TV then warped in front of us, and I saw his hand sticking out, so I pulled him through. Which then, afterwards, apparently, he wasn't the only thing in there, to which the thing that came after followed shortly.
Where did you go?
During the mission to recover Green Pit 2, I was dying. No ifs or buts. I was dying. When I fell to my knees, it was Conduit, I believe.
You saw this
He-
man? Or it
Yes.
thing? She?
Yes.
What are we identifying it?
I can't tell you.
Okay, what does this person look like? Do they talk?
Talk, tall, all black. A smile so wide that it could be called inhuman. Far too thin to be human proportions.
So we're dealing with a fucking alien? No.
I cannot tell you what he is entirely. I only have guesses, which I have told Revenge. But to continue on what you were asking, he laid me down gently, and as my eyes closed, I knew I would have been saved. That I would wake up somewhere else.
So they saved you, not saved you? They just put you somewhere? What are you saying?
I think I was put into stasis. At least until I could be pulled out. Or
Okay.
retrieved, I suppose.
These items that each of you have. Give me one good reason from each of you why you currently need these. Otherwise, I'm just gonna take them from you and have them stored with Queen. Do these feel necessary to what we're doing?
Without it, I believe we would not have gotten Green Pit 2 back.
What do you mean? By the sounds of it, all it did was give you a chance to live a little longer.
It wasn't just that. When I flipped the coin, I had a feeling that I was being asked for an outcome. And at that moment, deep down, I wished, honestly, to resolve the circumstances occurring in Green Pit 2 without further casualties. When that happened, electricity sparked out. It took out all the lights. And before I passed out, I saw Tiger's heads being popped in an instant.
Anyone else? You were on that? Is that true?
This is correct. It was almost like a surge, like it was pulling electricity from everything around it. Even some of our mass emissions were being sapped before it unleashed a current more deadly than anything I would have ever saw.
Did this hurt any of our whisperers in the process?
No. It only attacked the tigers.
Of course it did.
Let me ask you a question. With these items in question, are they important enough to risk the lives of the Hollow for? Because you'll be using them out there in the field, not truly knowing what they're capable of. And you may have got lucky once. Who's to say anyone else may not suffer the consequences? Would you put your confidence in that?
Ace, yes or no?
Yes.
Right on.
If I am being perfectly honest, sir, I am inexperienced in this, and
Answer the
dangers-
question.
I don't believe so.
Good.
It has already proven too dangerous.
Well, the answer is more complicated than. But for the sake of appeasing you, no. I'll be handing over the ring.
Can I interject for a second? You guys only got these things because of what you're doing with Conduit. The entire Blackstem thing, these disappearances, these random fields of electricity when it first started into that one zone that you all went to. Because if the final decision is to hand over these things, wouldn't the better question be, instead of these, is continuing down with doing whatever you are with Conduit something you guys should keep doing? Because it seems like these things that you guys have and that you are a part of in that group and have sanctioned okays with these missions with Conduit to go down, should that continue? Because without these, if you guys continue down those missions, it doesn't seem like you can continue down it without them.
There's an entire faction that we do not control. They've shown entirely willing to blow up zones and calling them sacrifices that are necessary.
If I may.
I don't think we have a choice anymore. More so, I was just curious of your answers. We just, I don't even know, summoned? Brought some fucking creature, monster to my home? From a fucking lens. Or some magical, mystical fucking TV.
I don't understand Magitech all that much, but that might be some type of circumstance. From what it sounds like, he only used it in an instance. His item. He continuously used the item. He didn't just look through it and then put it down. He had it to his eye for minutes. Probably about 5 or 6.
Was there any kind of warnings or conditions for receiving said items? Who gave them to you and for what purpose?
When Conduit gave us these items, there was a warning. He said it was a gift from himself. A part of him. That's when we need it most. To protect ourselves and the things we care about. That it can be used.
So it's a gift from Conduit to you three. Which means it's intentional.
A gift back. Yes.
The thing is with Magitech is that it's often something given. Yes, there is a price to it, but have you ever seen anyone else besides me use my sword? Or anyone else besides Wrench use his?
Ace, technically.
Ace used what?
His sword.
Sword.
Yes, but it's his sword. You mean Wrench's sword or his own sword? Yes, Ace used his sword. There's a binding of sorts to the person who wields Magitech. So if it's gifted to you, it's intended for the person who was gifted. Which means Corvus here using someone else's Magitech probably caused some sort of breach of contract of some sort. This is an assumption. I have no idea if this is the case. I've not let anyone else touch my blade. I imagine it's the same thing with both Ace and Wrench.
I've seen someone use the sword that I use without it being bonded to them. It's what happens to me, but worse.
So it's a very heavy detrimental effect.
I wouldn't even say it's detrimental. It's just death at that point.
Okay. I will give the three of you a month. You have a month to figure out what these things are. You will pick a place of safety, a location for you to do your testing, wherever you need that to be. I will speak to the council. Hopefully with maybe Queen's help, we can facilitate a place, put some funds together to make a place where you can test. And you will tell me what these do. And whatever happens to you is the punishment for bringing these to my home. Your responsibility now. You'll figure out what they do. And if you can't in a month, then I'm handing them over. And we won't use them. And we stop this whole conduit trail. And we figure out another way.
I do not disagree.
A month. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Tin Man. Your responsibility moving forward when we leave this room, I need you. You specifically, and whoever else you need at your side to do it, to figure out if Oz is alive, not alive, and I need you to figure out how to get rid of it. Whatever it is. Be it if it's some fucking weird malware shit, some code, whatever it is, it's your responsibility and the people that you deem with you to get rid of that.
I may say, so, given that the language used to describe my actions in the past, and the fact that I still have an open punishment, I don't think I should be trusted with something like this. Wrench
Trust
should invest
is a-
himself. I'm a traitor, so I don't know how you can turn around and make me responsible for something that vital, that risky, when
Then
I'm not
this
trustworthy.
is an opportunity to prove yourself.
Exactly. And you will have my forgiveness. If you provide something substantial to me.
How much time do I have?
How much time do you feel like you need?
I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Do you want to be generous?
Well, if you put a time limit on it, I don't know if I can do a month or something. Then you might as well just.
I was speaking to
I
Chase.
understand the situation is more delicate than a month. Six months?
I don't know.
We will say 6 months.
Give him the time for it, without the time limit. reports don't seem like they're doing anything, this thing, then that's your decision at the end.
Very well. We'll go with that.
We have not addressed Asher or the rabbit.
I will. Corvus, you're free to go. Ace, you're free to go. Tim, and you are also free to go.
Tin, I would like you to send me an image of your Magitech item.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'll be turning it over to you.
Same for you as well, Ace. I would need an image of your item, unless you wish to hand it over.
They have a month to figure out what these things are. Do not waste your month. And make sure Tin Man keeps his.
Yes, I will.
If the two of you would like to join us at the table, considering there's more seats if you wish to sit. You've been standing a while.
I'm fine.
Very well. The two of you. I heard reports that our favorite station, 1607, engaged you in some level of combat.
They did.
If you wouldn't mind explaining to the table this situation, please.
I'd recommend you start from the beginning so we can get the full grasp of the situation.
Sure. If I miss anything, Asha can add on. We were, or myself and Asha were dispatched to a zone. I forget the exact zone number. It has been a couple weeks since then. We were dispatched to it to gain a place in it to take the zone as ours. We were gathering money from stores, the usual stuff. And then at a point, a bunch of cops appeared. They were all interesting. One had pink hair. The boss lady was there, I think. I can only assume. She had a big long trench coat, white hair. They all showed up into our alley. And then, presumably, the boss lady said, our body cams have to be...
Tin, you are to keep the item. I merely ask for an image.
I was told to surrender to you, so...
By
You have a
whom?
month to figure out the item as I stated.
Figure what out? A thing that can potentially kill everyone in the hollow?
Tin Man.
You asked me if I
That
want
is
to take
my
the risk.
order!
Take the item. You have a month to figure out what it is.
Don't make this worse on yourself.
I'm just being given conflicting information. That's fine.
You have an order. I expect you to fulfill it.
Sure.
Continue.
The police took off all of their body cams and said, from what I remember,
Apparently, some whisperers dealt with one of their officers named Riker. It was revenge for what they did to him. And they attacked. I believe Officer Riker was there. He was missing a finger on one of his hands, so I assume it
White
was...
hair.
You're telling me
Pretty
Yes.
short.
Ballsy
Terrible in a
Station all came down to kick your asses for revenge? That's crazy.
They did? Yeah.
Very sure. I told him to keep his mouth shut.
I guess he blabbed.
They're cops, what do you expect?
Well, if they can't follow our rules, then they also deserve a punishment.
There's
I can agree there. There's more. I mean, after that, they attacked us, and then we left. And then one of them in the pink hair, one of them with long pink hair, like a flower tattoo on her neck, shot at us. They killed a couple of whisperers that were with us.
They killed
Yes.
whisperers.
shot
Yes.
dead.
Shot them to death. Asha was trying to drag one away, and sadly, he was used as a body sponge inadvertently. None of them made it out alive that I know of. I'm unsure. I believe one or two did, because I think a couple came to the hall afterwards, but I'm not sure.
We cannot allow this system to think that it is above us. There are those that are above us, and they make that pretty clear from where they stand. But cops, precincts, we need to figure out this table what we're doing and how we are retaliating.
Python's been busy, but I've had her been looking into some of the other people at that station from the information she was able to get from his phone. I don't know what else she's gotten so far, but I know she's been busy.
Not much more than that.
Precinct 1607. On a more positive note, we've had decent run-ins with some of the officers from that station. Some that are on more even terms with our hollow denizens. I also have information that precinct has been playing the role of favorite child to ISB.
Of course.
In which case, we need to have a conversation with them when it comes to our conversation with ISB. Make our terms clear.
What was his name again? Riker. He did say that one of them pointed him to our direction.
One of who?
From ISB. I don't remember who it was, he said. But he said someone from ISB pointed him to our direction.
He said
The
Octavia.
top lady herself.
So
And he
she's
also
trying
mentioned
to...
that Octavia wanted him dead. So I assume. Well, actually, best case scenario, if we go and kill him, is she gonna give a shit?
Are
She
any other
wants-
ISB members really cemented into there? That's the better question.
There's one. The one we all had the opportunity to see walk the hollows just yesterday.
He's very deeply connected to the members of that PD station. To the point where he's willing to brag about it in open fashion to anyone who would.
If that's the case, and if we do something about it, then I just suggest we don't kill someone. Because I'm sure that with how buddy they were talking, when I say they, I mean Wrench and Mr. Onimusha, I'm sure that after what happens on your order can be explained away. An eye for an eye.
Do we want to send a group of whisperers down to the station?
I've had some time to dwell about this situation. And from what I see, there are two ways we can handle this. From the sounds of it, our attention isn't the only thing that PD has attracted. I believe there is mention of a sighting of Vito on the premises. But I think there's two different ways we can handle this. We could go with your suggestion, Chase. Send a contingent of whisperers to send a message out to that precinct that they shouldn't be garnering attention. And they are the ones looking around for answers. Could be some form of Whisperer Squad. Could be members from the Hollow with you and I at the head of it. Go see exactly what this precinct thinks of us.
I have an idea.
Or, with ISB's closer connections with this precinct, we could have someone else send the message, and maybe get Little Miss Top Lady from showing up at the Hollow whenever she pleases, when something goes wrong.
I think it's gotta be us. Around the zones, around 1607, what if we, like they decided to do to us, ambush us while we're doing our work, call in for the police at a certain location? I'm sure a patrol car will show up. They'll go down an alleyway. We ambush them, take two of their goons, hold them at gunpoint, demand that their superior officer comes down, and then we can have a chat with them, with their own officers on the line.
That could work.
And once we let them go, we'd be inciting a turf war. And that's already another fight we'd have to engage with.
We're inciting another turf war no matter what we do. If we attack the police station directly, or if we do this.
May I suggest having a diplomatic conversation? Like we did with the meat rack. We go in numbers. A show of
That's
force.
what I'm talking about. I can't be on their turf though.
Why not?
It needs to be on our terms. Cause it's just you don't attack the Whisperers in their own fucking home and then us walk up and be polite and be like, hi, can we talk about what you did? That's not how this works. There needs to be a show of force.
I believe
who we
going
are.
to their station is a show of force. It means that we're not afraid to dwell into their domain. They own it for
Their
now.
home turf. If they're ISB's precious little child, you don't think ISB are not gonna have eyes on them?
Set up another type of thing. Well, we do that. If that is the plan we go down to. As much as I don't want to drag in other council members, they could show some type of force somewhere else that it.
If
requires
ISB are
attention.
going to deal with us, then we need to react in kind. I'm sure someone from the Council of 9 can be there as a equivalent force to the ISB. We are here on
That works too.
negotiations to come to an understanding, especially with, well, our already established understanding with ISB. I think it's fair.
Invoke the rage of the Whisperers and soil yourselves in their blood. Deal with the wrath of the Council. And send them one real message on who they're messing with. Is my second option. But that comes with agreement from the Council.
The problem is we lose public favor if we are openly attacking a slowly establishing police department. We'll be seen as disturbing the peace. We want to be seen
If they
as
shoot down my
the
people,
we want to be
I
seen
couldn't give a
as
shit
the
about what people think.
defenders, not aggressors.
Half of the district doesn't even like the police officers.
True,
Most of
Then
them are
why
corrupt.
but
Why not sway the court of public opinion? If there are more cases of these unjust actions given by the police department, expose it to the public.
I agree with Python.
Asha, Gems, did you manage to secure any evidence of their attack? Photos, videos, anything for like?
I don't think so.
Just the phone I gave you when we got back. One of the Whisperers who died gave it to me before he did.
Well, I'm sure we can have our own body cams when we go visit the precinct. Have recordings.
They took them off.
I said our own body cams when we have this meeting. If they try to do anything funny in their department, we leak it to the public. They'll have a lot of explaining to do, and they'll probably lose funding with their ISB. Does it make good to give funding to a police department that is, well, openly causing conflict in a diplomatic negotiation?
So, are we agreeing on the ambush situation and pulling out their supervisor?
Again, I feel like the ambush paints us in a bad light with the public opinion.
I'm not focused on the public. I'm focused on our reputation. With the current law in our city. The public can be swayed whenever. People's opinions are fickle and change all the time.
In that
The police,
case,
though. I need the police to know who we are.
let me play devil's advocate then. If we do this, how we know that they won't report this to the ISB and have them breathing down your necks again? It's very hard to
Again,
make
I feel-
negotiations with ISB when there's constant issues. We can only talk so
I
much.
feel that we can explain that away, especially with us knowing that Octavia wants Riker dead, and I don't want to make the assumption, but maybe even some others a part of the group. Because if she wants him dead, then who says how? Then that really shows how much she cares for the said precinct. So I think that if we do this, we have these body cams. We have this group of people here. And we go in, and it is going to be a show of force, so they might be hostile at first, but we come in with the wanting of a talk with their supervisor, their chief, whatever it is. And if they start firing first, we have video evidence that we came on diplomatic terms and they were the ones that showed hostility. And in that, we can use this evidence.
Sure. But I would rather there be some officers that are exited from that station. That means that I can have less police officers guarding it. I can then have some whispers, possibly take some hostages. Worst case scenario, we get our asses kicked out there, or whatever group is going out there start to get their asses kicked. And then we have some leverage to cover ourselves.
I think that's a good idea. But I also again say that, you know, if you want to show that force, it can't just be a random group of hollow whisperers or whispers. You two have to be there. And she can be there in case ISB shows up.
Wrench,
If she
these
wants to.
officers that will ambush, probably be a good idea for you to be there in case an ISB member shows up there, and I can show up at the precinct. Our efforts are split. There's a leader at each end. Octavia shows up wherever. We can talk our way out of it.
If you're worried about image, maybe you can just do the ambush and get it over and done with, one place, like you suggested. If the image is what we're worried about. I was mainly bringing it up to avoid further entrenching ourselves with problems with the ISB, considering that I have reports that it's quite frequent of late.
It's unfortunately not just about our reputation to the wider public, the civilian populace.
I can't have cops shooting at my family. Sure you understand? It's my home's reputation I have to uphold as well.
Then do the ambush. But understand, there's only so much we can do to deter ISB.
I know.
All I can ask, I suppose, on my own behalf is to reduce your cross-ins with them. So that way it's not a long list.
Okay.
Hello, Pan Panther.
Asha, Gems, you are free to leave. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, well, they want to do it, so they can do it.
I need a left hand, Ezra. Need you to get your shit together. When I ask you a question about what I expect, what you would do, I need you to be able to answer. I know the answer is not always easy. But I need someone I can trust. Someone that I know will get shit done when I need shit done. I want to give you that opportunity, but from where I'm sitting, it doesn't seem like the right time. But just know that that's my direction and thinking at the moment. Is you're up there.
Understood.
You're free to go.
I saw your list. You said Gems, Jun. I know the other two.
What were the names that I said? Gems, Juno.
Alice and Mag. Tell me a bit more about Mag. I know about Alice to a degree.
He's pretty strong-headed, but in a good way. He doesn't let it get ahead of him. I don't know if you know of the time where Sylvie had a group, her and two other people, who go get her things. Mag was a part of it, and he got caught by an ISP member. But he refused to make them think that he was a part of our group, and was willing to take a fall that he didn't need to. I think he has a good head on his shoulders.
Mag is probably one of the most loyal Whisperers I've seen in a long time.
Is he competent?
Out of the newest batch and some of the old Whisperers, yeah.
To your standards, no. He has potential, though.
I will consider it. The whole point of the training is to make him adequate. You're free to go.
You got a lot on your plate, don't you? I can tell just by looking at you. And the way you hold yourself, the way you talk.
You talking to me?
Intelligence is
Oh, okay, yeah, he's talking to
a
yeah.
hard role to upkeep, I thought. You were expected by everybody in our home to know everything, You are expected to give answers when there are questions. Not easy to do alone. You feel like you're in the right place?
I believe so, sir.
It's okay to admit to struggling. I know I would. I know I am.
There
It's
are
not
times,
easy
yes,
to.
but it is how we choose to pursue forward with those struggles. If we decide to lie on the ground or get back up, then I choose to get back up.
You have a second?
Currently, funnily enough, Mag is being put under a trial period to see if he can handle the current responsibilities for being a second, as he has proven to be reliable and capable.
You have a month to figure out who your second is.
Understood, sir.
You need to carry that weight with somebody.
Of course.
You dismissed.
Yes, sir.
2 weeks. I know you've been dwelling on this for quite some time. Don't disappoint me.
Of course, sir.
Join me at the table, Wrench. How are you doing, Queen?
Tired. Stressed. Same old, really.
Wrench. I no longer want you to be my left hand. I want you to be my right. I think when the time comes, when I eventually need to step down, or worst case I die, I need somebody who will hold up the mantle of the Hollow. You are a good leader. I've seen it. Though, you might not have, I don't know, as you put it before when we spoke about this a long time ago, the emotion needed that people need. I've seen you grow a lot. A lot more than I think you yourself are aware. I've seen you pick people over yourself. I've seen you spit in the face of the people that effectively own us. I've seen you prioritize your family in a way that I don't think I ever could. I know we all want to sit back eventually and throw in the towel. Take our vacation. I don't know how long you intend to walk or run this race of ours. But just know I think you're good material. I think you're suited. And you're the only one that I can really look to. Anyone can be good at punishments. Anyone can play a bad guy. But not everybody can actually care that they do it. And I know you care.
You and I both know that's one hell of a request to make of me. From the way both you and Marcus asked of me a year ago. And the way I've built myself in the eyes of the Hollow's denizens.
If you paint yourself as a villain, then I'm sure it's easy to paint yourself in a better light. Being bad is easy. Kill a person here, punish another person there. But if you're good to begin with, you'll be too soft. You won't be seen as strict. You won't be seen as a disciplinary force. It's like a parent. If a child misbehaves, but you be nothing but nice to them, they'll take your words with less weight. But if you're firm from the start and when you show kindness, softness, the child will grow to realize that that you're doing it for their best intentions, but also to not take you for granted. It's not easy to soften a tougher visage, but to be a leader, discipline comes first. Then, reward.
You have a right to say no. And I'm not saying it's now. Just saying that I need somebody eventually to take it. If I died tomorrow, you would take it. Well, there'd be no fucking choice. Unless you pass it down to somebody else. I've seen the way people look at you and talk about it. The way you hold yourself. I mean, man, I've been doing this a long time. You tend to...
Oh, this headset's killing my head.
I know how people look at me. I know they see me as this bit of a joke sometimes. You know, I'm just there. And I don't think they'll ever understand my history or my past, and I don't need that. I know. It's not why I built this. It's not what I want it to be. It's not about me. It's... When you walk into a room, people don't fear you, they respect you.
easy for me. It goes against everything that I originally believed. I still question exactly why you two chose me of all people to stand at your side, to lead or reign over the
Do you resent me for that?
I don't think I could resent you for that. I could resent all the anger, strife, stress, and sorrow I have to feel when I welcome people into the hollow, watch them grow, see their decline, and say goodbye to them one final time. But I can't present you. To ask me to stow my blade to take up a different mantle. That is not an answer I can give, that I can provide now. But it's not one I will allow to go unanswered. What do you think of me, Wayne? You've seen me from the start of everything. Well, the start of how I became this way. And everything that I've done, lost or accomplished.
I see an individual who has risen to a challenge. You became this way out of similar reasons why I became what I did. Frustration, tired of seeing people make mistakes, be incompetent. Not because I hated their failures, but because I knew that their cost of failure is high. It's not just, like I said to Corvus, it's not just their life on the line. It's other people's. It's easy to put yourself to blame, but never easy to realize that your own actions affect others. You wanted to be that competency, that assurance that at least someone would come back alive. The chance for survival was higher. And you pushed other people to want to do this as well. Because every time they failed, it meant a loss of life. If I wasn't so hell-bent on the past and seeing everyone else as just lesser, I would have probably done the same. Rather than be a spiteful individual that was bitter due to losing those who were close, maybe I might have taken a more nurturing approach. Taught people to be more competent, trained them, gave them discipline. But I didn't do that. But you did. It's easy to be spiteful, to loathe others for their lack of action. But it's more difficult to look at them and wonder, could I perhaps change them? Maybe my efforts towards them won't go to waste. Maybe my time invested will pay off in dividends. The knowledge you have gained from being a, as you would call it, villain, has given you insight into what needs to be done to make sure order is maintained, to make sure that, well, the Horror Whisperers are as well equipped as they can possibly be. The price of failure is felt, not just witnessed through eyes, through funeral rites. It is felt. And as much as people wish it wasn't, pain is a good teacher. We don't like to hurt. No human does. And as traumatic and fucked up as it is, sometimes people just need a little push. But Chase is right. If Chase were to die, you would probably have to take up his seat. Obviously it's your own choice, but imagine you'll come up to the same conclusion that both myself and every other Council 9 member came up to. There is no one better. And when you become leader of the Whisperers, if you will need someone who can fill your shoes, who can be disciplined. And as fucked up as this also sounds, the leader cannot be the ones who is an icon of hatred. That happened back many years ago with Toku, with Odeli. People revolt against the tyrannical leader, but if it's just someone who is left or right hand, a scapegoat, easy to replace. They acted out on their own. Easy way to make an excuse that they did not follow the leader's vision to the exact T. Obviously this is personal insight and not to be shared with everyone else, because the moment that illusion is broken, people will do what they want.
I'm surprised you, I assume you always knew that. Why I'm surprised that you don't resent me. You are my scapegoat. You are my villain. The nasty world we live in.
It is sadly the human condition.
For all the positions or roles that I've been part of, or I've seen people grow or become accustomed to. I was the only one to make a choice for it. I accepted it wholeheartedly. It wasn't an order given from the top, nor had someone died and left the spot vacant for anyone to claim. I was asked a question on whether I'd like to wear my mask, don my hood, and stand at your side. And I said yes. That is why I don't resent you.
Oh, how I miss the golden era.
You miss it?
Of course. Not a day doesn't go by that I close my eyes and pretend that we're just back in my train.
Yeah. Miss it too.
Is there anything else we need to discuss?
If the opposite were to happen, if I were to die instead of you, would you be able to ask the same question to someone else right now?
Well, considering that he suggested that Ezra be the new left hand and was under consideration, I imagine they would.
Would you?
No. And that is why we need to live. Because if we die, I fear that the Whisperers die with us.
So you've reached the same conclusion.
Yeah. And I need to know before they end this meeting if this Sylvie Voss person is an issue or is a hazard to my home. Unsanctioned deep dive, this conduit business. You
Her
are
role
more
is to
privy.
Her role is to act as messenger to this conduit. And if the items in question came from him, are the things that are causing us trouble, then I very much expect an answer from Conduit himself. Whatever form that may come. And I'll be sure to respond in kind.
And the same to you. You have a month alongside the others. I need information. I need to know where this Voss stands, and I need to know more about Conduit. Have a pleasant evening.
After I've dealt with ISB's curiosity.
Sure.
Good night, Chase.
Good night. Thank you for coming, Queen. It's always great to see you.
I wonder if the others think the same.
Say hello to the, Damn, I can't even say that. Maybe one day I can be like, say hi to the wife and kids.
Yeah. I still don't really know how to think of it, but live and learn.
Find your card, by the way.
Yes, thank you, Wrench. I'm gonna go have a chat with Callahan. So, have a good night.
If you're going to be privy to what those three had, then it'll likely be decent for you to be privy to everything else. You're aware of what I already have in my possession.
You mean the artifact?
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm privy to it.
I've used it.
You've used it. In that.
Not only mine.
Well, as long as you know what you're doing, it's not going to implode on you, then it's fine.
Cowboy as well. His is more of my personal creation. Put it one way.
What do you want, Ace?
I wish to give a more formal report on the entity encountered yesterday. And what would you like that later?
I'll keep it short with that thing, quickly. That thing, I don't think anyone in the hallway could take that thing on. Hell, I'd wager you would struggle against that thing.
Well, for starters, I don't even know what it is. And if a certain individual was there to fight it, I don't think I can really compare.
From what we were told, that thing was in the mindscape conduit.
One of the entities that conduits the former man turned power source.
Yes.
Or one of the generators that got destroyed.
Yes. I do not think it would have conjured itself into reality like it did. Demons of the mind usually stay in the mind.
Unless you choose to draw power from them. Which
It is a
so
fragment of his
recklessly did.
Yes, because of course
I
that's
don't need
why it
to-
happened then.
I know his reasonings.
I am not defending Corvus.
So close, yet
Mistake
so far.
had the consequences it led to. But with what you said, I believe I might understand why it came the way it did. If the items or of conduit, they were whole. If they were taken apart and put
about here, I think it was. It's been 3.5 years. And it's still just like it happened yesterday. I'm sorry I wasn't quick enough, nor strong enough. If ghosts are real, I just hope that you're not lingering here in these halls. And you're at your rest.
really,
What are you guys talking
I
about?
don't know. It's just enticing
if
to
you're
know
listening.
about it. I think
Hey
it's cool.
man, I wanted to.
Yeah,
I
are you
wanted
streaming?
to.
Are
Yeah,
you
I'll
streaming,
leave in.
Chase? Yeah.
Alright, so I'm here. Okay, that's not... That isn't what I thought it would do. Okay. Eh. Eh. It's so far into the ground. Oh, I just want it. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. Oh. I need to test this in the world which I can actually see things. No, the spike goes in too far. It goes in too far. It doesn't. Yeah, see, it's going in too far. Fuck, man. Also, it's going at a weird angle as well. Just... Yeah, it's going at a weird angle. It's not going at... Yeah, that needs to be fixed. And then, obviously, there is this as well. Which I have done wrong. Oibe. Right, so... If you like what you saw here today, please consider giving me a follow. I have the channel up, but most importantly, you should go when I go live again next. Yeah, it was a pretty good stream. Pretty decent. We had good conversations, and you know, it's nice to play Queen again. If you're looking at the chat right now, thank you very much to Arking Wing for posting the chat command in the chat. You'll see a link to a Discord where you can join a wonderful community and be part of all discussions that happen in the roleplays I partake in. Eden Last, GangRP, and District PD are the 3 main ones I do at the moment, but more might be added if and when I find a time, as well as finish the model work, as well as my big, long, backed up list of things I need to do.
Good night, Nut. Good night.
Good night. If you want to post something, be sure to post it and respect the channels.
She's down there.
Fish?
Oh, she's there.
Hello, I'm hello.
Where are you? You in the map?
No, I left the map because I wanted to go test the model.
Oh.
Why?
Oh, okay.
He wanted to show you his shit. Literally.
Well, I'm still streaming. I'll turn off my stream.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want to show me or not?
I mean, you can come join us if you want to. We're just chilling.
Yeah, let me just turn off my stream and then I'll come and join you guys.
Okay, what do you think?
If you want to post something, be sure to post it on the feedback channel. In the channels that exist, we do have a feedback channel, so you can make requests there, something you'd like to see added, changed, or improved upon in the stream. We have a YouTube where you can look at all the previous VRs I've done over the last 4 years. Queen / Raven Roar, Eco episodes from Aiden Lost, Ophelia from Vix Inn, End Times, playing like the NPC zombies as well as the Siren. There's quite a lot of content to watch. We also have a Twitter. It's unsafe for its and minors, but you can follow me there, and sometimes I tend to repost artwork or like other things, and you might be able to see it there. But I'm just doing it because everyone else has a Twitter or a Blue Sky, so I'm just copying them. Thank you. I need to go eat because I haven't eaten anything at all today, so I will be doing that, and then probably taking a bit of a break. Maybe doing a bit of model work. We'll see. Yeah. Thank you everyone who stopped by to watch. Appreciate it greatly, and I will see you Saturday tomorrow for Eden Lost. Bye bye.